Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys my Sephora VIB sale recommendations as well as my wish list. I will be honest, my wish list is pretty small this year. I just have 6 items that I plan on picking up, and I feel like that's because a lot of the brands that I shop, if you'll go on their actual website, they usually have better sales, 25%, even 30% off, so I don't really find myself shopping at Sephora much anymore. Usually it's just sticking with Ulta because their point system, in my opinion, is way better, but I do still have some items that I do feel like it's worth mentioning and picking up, and like I said, I am picking up a few items myself. If you are a Rouge member, the sale starts on April 9th and you get 20% off. If you are a VIB member, it starts on April 13th. And then if you are a Insider, I think it is, you get 10% off, and that starts on April 15th, I believe. So I'll write all that down below in case you guys are curious. But yeah, we're going to go and get started. And I actually want to start out with a sunscreen. So I felt like I had to mention a sunscreen, especially since we're going into summer. I mean, you should be wearing a sunscreen year round. I feel like a lot of people's like, when summertime gets here, oh, I need to wear a sunscreen, when you should be wearing it all the time. But anyways, this is the Supergoop Unseen Sunscreen. This has SPF 40 in it. I really like this on days I'm not going to be wearing makeup. I do still prefer my Clinique Tinted Moisturizer if I'm going to be wearing makeup because it has like a tacky feeling, so I feel like it grabs onto like powder foundation or like liquid foundation a lot better and gives me really good coverage. But if you are wanting a sunscreen just to literally slap on your face and your neck and be done, this is definitely it. It has a silicone feel, but it just blends out really nicely. There's no white cast. I really like this. I still wouldn't say it's like my holy grail sunscreen. I feel like I haven't found one that I just love to death, but this is still a good one. So I feel like if you are on the hunt for one, I would definitely recommend you guys picking this one up because it does do a really good job. All right, now moving on to foundations. I actually don't have any primers I'm going to be mentioning, but I do have some pretty pricey foundations. So the first one is this Pat McGrath Skin Fetish Sublime Perfection Foundation. I actually have a video of me applying this foundation, and I really, really like this. However, this is light coverage. If you are someone who's wanting medium to full coverage, you are not going to like this foundation. But if you are someone who doesn't have a lot to cover up, or if you're someone who doesn't mind your imperfections peeking through, then this is a great foundation. It's exactly what it says. It is like such a skin-like foundation. I feel that's why this is so unique, because out of all the foundations that I have, this one is definitely the most skin-like. Again, if you have a ton of acne to cover up, you're not going to like this unless you're someone who you don't mind your imperfections poking through. Like, I don't mind when mine show through because I think it gives a more like natural appearance to the skin. And this has a really nice, I feel like, I wouldn't say matte finish, but it's not dewy. It's like that right in between. Lasts a really long time on my skin. Looks gorgeous over top of my pores. Really love this. I know it's pricey, but I'm telling you guys, if you got the 20% off, Pat McGrath is one of those brands that I would definitely splurge on. All right, next is the Giorgio Armani Power Fabric Longwear High Coverage Foundation. I used to talk about this foundation a lot, and I do still really like it. I just don't mention as much because I'm constantly trying out other foundations. But I love this if you want medium to full coverage. This reminds me, like, look-wise on the skin to how the NARS one looks. It's like a really nice, soft, matte look. Again, this is like the same way as that NARS one, how it looks on your skin. I will say the NARS one lasts a lot longer and is a little bit more full coverage, but this one I definitely feel like is more medium to buildable full coverage. I love it. I think it's beautiful. It's kind of one of those that I reach for. I feel like if I want like a really like bold eye, bold lip, just like a really nice like full face, and this is one of those foundations that I reach for. And again, perfect time to use a 20% off. I actually don't have any concealers, but I do have an under eye setting powder that I have mentioned in every single recommendations video. It's just the Vizier setting powder. This is pretty expensive. I'm thinking this is $30 some, and you get just 0.28 ounces. So not a lot of product, but I love this. Out of all the under eye setting powders I've ever tried, nothing beats this. I did try the Ilia one. Is that what it is? Like the last sale, and I do not like that. This one is not talc free though, but that does not bother me. I know some people can say it causes like that little milia underneath your eyes, but this does not do that to me. But this gives the most beautiful, smooth appearance on the under eye without like drying out and making it look super matte and crusty. It's just like, again, to me, this is the perfect under eye setting powder. I love it. I feel like, there'll never be a day when that will not be in my recommendations, but again, super nice. So I do actually have some blushes I want to mention. The first one is the Rare Beauty blushes. I feel like this is a great time that if you haven't tried out the Rare Beauty brand or any new brands that's just launched, this is a great time to do it. So this is the shade Bliss, and this is the matte one. I think you can get them in like a dewy one, and I love this. I just wish it would last a little bit longer on my cheeks. Again, I have oily skin. It has nothing to do with like this brand or this formula. all like liquid or cream blushes fade on me pretty quickly, but I love this in conjunction with another product I'm going to be mentioning. But I like to take this, dab it on the back of my hand, and then I'll kind of like go like this, and then go like this and apply it with my finger, and then go over top of that with a sponge. That's how it works best for me. But this is great. I love this, and I love going over top of this with these Cover FX blushes. So in the shade Peach, yeah, soft peach. So again, another recommendation. I really love these. These are great. So you get a matte shade, which this one is in the shade Soft Peach. And then you get a shimmer shade. And then this one is in the shade Pink. And again, you get the matte and the shimmer shade. I really love these. If you're someone who likes like versatility, this is going to be a great one. If I feel like you're more in like the hotter weather, like Florida, usually I'll reach for like, you know, matte. But I do sometimes like a little bit of a glow to my cheeks, so I'll go in with this right here, and it takes just the smallest amount. But again, I'll take that Rare Beauty blush, and then I go over top of it with, like I said, this one right here, the Soft Peach one, and I get a little bit more of like a longer wear. I feel like I don't get like that juiciness when I go over top of it that like this leaves on its own, but like I said, I get better like longevity when I go over top of that with a powder. And again, I love these, really nice. I will say that these are a little bit more on the pigmented side, so you probably want to go in with a light hand, but the shimmer shade, like I'll just go like this with my brush, and then I'll just lightly tap it, and I mean, it's so pretty. Every time I wear these, someone's always like, what is on your cheeks? Again, just really, really beautiful. Would highly recommend them. Now, if you are someone who likes blushes that are a little more sheer, I have to mention these. I feel like I mentioned these again in all of my Sephora recommendations, but the Clinique Cheek Pops, I love these. I have so many of these in singles, and then I have several of their like limited edition holiday sets. These are great buildable blushes. If you're someone who likes a very like sheer blush that you can build up, these are great ones. They're not one of those that immediately, like when you go in on the cheek, you're sitting there trying to blend and they're super intense. These are super buildable. Again, if you can get these, I would recommend them because you're getting 3 of them, I think, for the price of 1. But if you can't, like I said, the single ones are great. Some of my favorites are Heather Pop, Nude Pop, and then Ginger Pop. For the summertime, I love Ginger Pop. I'll show you guys right here. It's this really pretty, like, gingery pink. Again, well, there we go. Super gorgeous. And then I do have Nude Pop here, and then Heather Pop. I'll go ahead and show you guys those 2 as well. Heather Pop I like a little bit more in the fall. And then Nude Pop I can pretty much use year round. But Nude Pop I do have to build up because it's a little bit of a lighter shade. But again, I think that these are really nice. If you like a buildable blush, then you should definitely check these out. All right, I do have one bronzer that I actually want to mention, and I just realized I forgot a foundation, but it's okay, I'll go back to it. So I believe that this might actually be on sale. When I was looking, Sephora had this on sale already. This is the Marc Jacobs 104 Tantastic bronzer. I love this bronzer. I've worn it pretty much every day here recently. Such a gorgeous bronzer, and it's one of those that has a matte formula, but it's a very like soft skin-like matte. It's not one of those that's so matte. It's just like really nice, but again, there's no shimmer or anything in this. But this is a great bronzer. I like how it builds up. I like how it's easy to blend. Again, it's one of those that's not super pigmented, but it's still got, you know, a good amount of pigmentation where you can definitely build it up. But it's one of those that if you actually go a little bit heavy-handed, you could just take like a brush and kind of just blend it out and you're good to go. I love this. Again, I know Marc Jacobs is a more expensive brand, but perfect time to be picking this up. All right, so let me jump back to this powder foundation really quick before I move on to highlighters. This is the Makeup Forever Matte Velvet Skin in Y225. I love this. So mine is like super gross and dirty, but this is the product that when I use that Clinique sunscreen tinted moisturizer, I'll put that on, and then I'll take like a buffing brush and I'll swirl it in here, and then I'll just like buff it on my face, and like the grippiness of that Clinique like tinted moisturizer grabs onto this and gives me like, I mean, it's full coverage. I love this. I've tried a lot of powder foundations. I like the Laura Geller one, which I don't think you can get anymore, but this one is by far my favorite because I love how it gives a very like matte look to the skin, but it's a very smooth matte look. So it's not one of those that look really, really powdery. Perfect for quick on the go. Like I'm telling you guys, 9 times out of 10, throwing that tinted moisturizer on, buffing this into my skin, doing my brows, a little bit of bronzer, and that is it. Because, you know, you have your mask on, so people are seeing you, you know, hardly any of you, just from here down. But if you are looking for a powder foundation, this is a really good one. I will probably pick this up. I think I might pick this up in a darker shade for summer, though, because this is definitely works a little bit better for me when I have more fair skin. All right, I do have 2 highlighters that I want to mention. So this is the Milk Highlighter in Lit. This is the Flex Highlighter. So this is a really, really pretty highlighter. I like this again a little bit more when I'm on like the fair side because I do feel like it can kind of look like a stripe on my face if I've got like more of a tan. But this is really, really pretty. Let's see, I'll swatch it for you guys. And it has like the smoothest formula. Can you guys see this? This kind of reminds me of those like that Becca highlighter, the opal one. This is what this reminds me of. Can you guys see that on my, of course it's not showing up. Let me see here. Let me get like a better swatch. Oh, there we go. Like when the light just hits it right there, it is so, so incredibly beautiful. It feels really nice and smooth and creamy on the skin. Definitely recommend this one. But I do have a more intense one that I want to recommend to you guys in case you want to pick it up. It's the Benefit Cookie Highlighter. I feel like everyone has talked about this, but I definitely feel like Benefit's a little bit more on the expensive side, especially like their box blushes and highlighters. But I like this. It does have little bits of loose shimmer, so I would recommend going in with like a more firm brush and kind of tapping off the excess and then kind of sitting there like buffing it on your skin, and it keeps that shimmer from like falling down onto your face. But I like this if I want a very, very intense highlighter, and I definitely feel like now that summer's getting here and you're going to be sitting outside, it's really nice to have that intense glow. So had to mention this because it's, like I said, definitely one of my favorite highlighters. Alright, so I'm just mentioning one brow product because they didn't have it during the Sephora, not Sephora, but Ulta sale. This is the Benefit Precisely My Brow. I have 4.5. I really, really love this brow pencil. When I did my Ulta recommendations, I was talking about how I do prefer this over the ABH one. And this is just a great one. I would pick up any of their brow products in this line. I used to love their pomade, and I just prefer a pencil now because it's a little bit quicker. I love their brow gel. Again, just pretty much love anything from this line. So if you haven't tried out their brow products, this is a perfect time to try them out. And then for eyeshadow palettes, I do want to mention this is a great time that if you're someone who likes the Natasha Denona eyeshadows, this is a great time to pick them up. You guys know I'm just not a huge fan, but I do love the Viseart eyeshadows, which I know a lot of people aren't a huge fan of. I believe I have a few more of these, but I just grabbed these two. This is the Vizier Golden Hour palette. I recently talked about this in my favorite eyeshadow palettes video. I love this. I mean, I don't know if you can get this one, but I do know you can get this small peach one. This is just what the eyeshadows look like. Sorry, I'm just trying not to blind you guys with the mirror. And then this little one is so cute. It's called the Petite Pro. It's like perfect for travel. You just like open it up like this. It has a little mirror and everything. Sorry, it's just so cute. These are the perfect warm summer peachy tones. Definitely recommend picking this one up. But I love Vizier eyeshadows. I feel like their formula is so easy to work with. The mattes blend so incredibly well. And the shimmers are more of like those perfect everyday shimmers. Not those super bold metallics, but I love Vizier eyeshadows. I was looking and I do still want to pick up because like I was trying not to purchase the, I think it's like the neutrals or something, like all the mattes, but I think I might purchase it. I don't know yet. We will see. So, all right, now moving on to a few skincare items here. I just have 4. So I wanted to mention the Youth to the People Kale and Green Tea Spinach Vitamin Superfood Cleanser. I really like this. Again, I know I've talked about this in the last few favorites, but this will definitely be probably a repurchase this time. I love this so much that I let my sister try it, and now she is addicted to it. She also bought their moisturizer, but she bought it off of Youth to the People's website instead of Sephora. But I really like this. If you want a really nice gentle cleanser, this is a great one. This is my morning cleanser. I use this with my Foreo, which I'll mention here in a second. But this is just, like I said, perfect. It's really nice. It's not one of my favorites when like I've had a full face of makeup on and like I'll go over my face with a cleansing balm and then you'll come in with a cleanser. I usually like going in with that CeraVe cleanser because I feel like it kind of, is that CeraVe or is that Cetaphil that I've got? I can't remember, but because that one I feel like kind of just gets down my pores a little bit more, whereas this one I feel like is really great if you haven't had a lot of makeup on, just super gentle. Really, really love this cleanser. And then I do really love their moisturizer. So I believe this is out of stock last time that I looked, but they do have another one that's got, I think, hyaluronic acid in it, which I think is great for more of like the summertime. But I love this. Again, I feel like every time I talk about Youth of the People, I'm just like beating a dead horse because I've talked about them so much, but they're a brand that their skincare has really worked for me. And, you know, again, if something works for me, I'm going to keep using it. Like, I'm just that person. But all right, next I wanted to mention the Herbivore Blue Tansy Resurfacing Clarity Mask. I really, really like this. I think this is one of the products that has really helped my skin overall. This reminds me very similar to that Drunk Elephant one people used to love. It was the baby facial or something like that. It feels the same. Like once you like wash it off, your skin almost feels like brand new, and that Drunk Elephant one used to do that. But I prefer this one because I do feel like this one's a little more gentle. It does have like a sulfury smell to it, and it is like this really cool like green shade. Let's see. Ooh, can you guys see? It's like, but it's, let me see, but it's like this really cool green shade. And I just take a spatula and I apply this on my face and I leave it on for, I think it's 10 minutes. And I don't do this that often. I probably use this twice a month, sometimes just once a month, but you do kind of get that tingling sensation on your skin. But again, I do really like this. I feel like this is one of those products that has helped with like my more hormonal breakouts down here. You guys know the ones that like start underneath your skin, but it's like they never fully come like all the way up to your skin and they just scar. I feel like this has really helped with that. Granted, that might be because I'm just taking better care of my skin, but I really do love this mask. Now, last product I'm going to mention, again, I know has been in a lot of my recent favorites videos, but it's the Foreo Luna. So I have the Luna 2. I don't know if you can still get the Luna 2 for oily skin. I know the Luna 3 is out now, but I do really, really like this. I will say it's one of those products that like once it goes dead, I'm just like, oh my gosh, I don't want to take the time to get that out of the bathroom and charge it. I won't use it for a month, but then I feel like it's one of those things that like after I haven't used it for a month, I feel like the texture and like my acne starts kind of coming up a little bit more. My skin's not as like calm, and then I'll go back to using this and within a few weeks, I feel like it makes all the difference. I really like this. I tried the Clarisonic way back, and that is just way too abrasive for me personally. But like I don't know if the Clarisonic, do they have like a rubber brush head now? I'm sure they do, but I really like this. And you can flip this over and it has like these like little, like what are these, like little wave things that you can go like this to work your like actual skincare in. So it's like anti-aging. I don't use this as much as I should. I definitely use it on those nights when I'm like just relaxing, but usually I'm in a hurry anymore and I'm just using this side. But I do really like it. It vibrates when you need to move to another section of your face. Again, just had to mention it. Like I said, just absolutely love it. So, alright guys, that's all my recommendations. I am going to mention just really quick these 6 items that's on my wish list. So the first one is the Youth of the People Superfood Air Whip Moisture with Hyaluronic Acid. I've actually tried this out and it's more of a lightweight moisturizer, and I'm wanting to, because this is the one that I'm using right now, and I use my First Aid Beauty one in the morning. But since summer is getting here, because I purchased that last one in the fall, I'm wanting to see how my skin works with this one in the summertime, since there's like a little bit more of like, you know, moisture in the air. And then I actually had the Makeup Forever Aqua Resist Color Pencil Eyeliner in 01 because I thought I'd lost my Marc Jacobs liner, but I found it. It was stuck in with my brushes. So I probably actually would not be repurchasing that because I still love my Marc Jacobs one, and since I found it. Of course, I want to repurchase my Youth to the People cleanser that I mentioned. And then I want to try the Pat McGrath lip liner and contour because Kathleen Lights had been talking about that forever. And since I was so obsessed with the foundation, I'm hoping that this will be just as good. And that is also the reason why I want to pick up the Pat McGrath Sublime Skin Highlighting Trio. So I feel like the shades don't look like something I would wear every single day, but I mean, it just has so many good reviews. So I'm like, I mean, it's gotta look good. And I feel like those more like dewy, wet highlighters look really good in the summertime. So again, I am excited to pick that one up as well. And yeah, guys, that is it. That is all of my 6 products on here. Like I said, I feel like I didn't have a lot, but my total is still 191, even with taking that eyeliner pencil out, and that's because that Pat McGrath stuff is so expensive. But again, you know, I will get 20% off that. So alright, so I would love to know your guys' recommendations and what's on your wish list, or is there anything that I need to pick up and try? Just let me know down below, and as always, thank you guys so much for watching. Bye.